Majesty, Paolo is exhausted because, Majesty, only Paolo can take this and give you
a graduate. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my absolute honor to present this year's valedictorian, Miss Hannah Bailey. Hello, class. Thank you. It is an honor to be up here as valedictorian, top of my class, and also bottom of my class because I'm homeschooled, so I'm in a class of one. Today, my speech is an opportunity to spit, in fact, a bunch of cliches at you about how bright the future is and the paths we are all going to be taking. However, again, this is a class of one, so instead I shall be talking about myself. Thank you. I would like to start with a highlight reel of some of my best moments throughout the high school experience. Please join me in welcoming Hannah's best high school moments. In no particular order, we have the time I said, "Have a good night" to a stranger at 11 a.m. The time I missed a really obvious shot in volleyball and let my team down. The time I fell down in the middle of the road in front of a cute guy from class. The time I read Robinson Crusoe. If you know, you know. The time I left my heels in the wrong building at a speech and debate tournament, and so I had to run back to the other building in the snow and then back to put my heels on and deliver the speech. The time where my friend and I were at a dance and a guy comes up and asks me to dance and I sarcastically say no, but it came out much more blunt than I expected, and so I had to follow through with it, and I grabbed my friend by the arm and we ran. I'm sorry, I meant it as a joke. The time I handed a receipt to a customer in a very awkward way, and they probably still think about it to this day. Next, we have the time my hairstylist asked me, "What do you do?" And I proceeded to explain how I styled my hair instead of my occupation, which is cashiering. The time I stared at my essay for far too long trying to figure out how to spell beautiful. The time I went off at a birthday party explaining why the shoulder pads and blazers from the 80s were so big. If you're wondering, it's because women were entering the workforce, and so they wanted to be more intimidating and have a figure more like a male's, so all of their blazers had very large shoulder pads. That was my party conversation. The time I ran into my friend at Target, and I had no clue what to say, and so it was just a very awkward interaction because I'd never run into a friend at Target before, and I'm sorry, my apologies. This concludes my high school highlight reel. Thank you. I've had the great honor of meeting many incredible people throughout my high school experience. I spent my first 2 years of high school in Florence, South Carolina. I still remember my first day at that CC group. Then I landed in North Carolina, and I've been able to join so many amazing organizations. I've participated in the NCFCA as a speech and debate group, in Teen Pat, in Spiritual Twist Productions, a theater group, a Camp Sweet Escape, a camp for children with type 1 diabetes like myself, and I got my first job as a cashier working at Publix. Through it all, I had my amazing family as company. Through binging TV series and singing to hip-hop radio and Taylor Swift and bawling my eyes out at a restaurant, my parents have become very close friends, and I am incredibly thankful for that. My mother and father have supported me and poured into me in a way I will never be able to repay. Instead, I will have to double it and give it to the next person. The people I've met along the way have all had a hand in impacting me and making me who I am today. Whether your part was big or small, thank you. I have no doubt been known as many things throughout high school. I'm an artist and a writer and the girl with the coffee speech and the transhumanist case. I'm Hermione Granger. I tell dad jokes. I'm divinely beautiful, dazzlingly clever, and angelically good. That said, I changed a lot throughout these years. I'm a very different person than I was. 4 years ago, I took pride in debating well and winning arguments. Now I take pride in leading discussion, but also fading into the background. My debates are in pursuit of truth. I see now it's a strength to concede when I'm wrong. It hasn't happened yet, but I look forward to when it does. 4 years ago, I was terrified of being called basic. And I would intentionally avoid pumpkin spice lattes and certain pop artists. Now, I will proudly walk into a Starbucks if I want to. It turns out that enjoying average or basic things in no way affects how special I am. Having a pumpkin spice latte and Shawn Mendes on my playlists doesn't negate the fact that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. 4 years ago, I thought I wasn't capable of athleticism. I thought I needed to just make my peace with that. That I was destined to be a hermit. A very cute, smart hermit, but a hermit. Now I know that I just hate team sports, but I actually really enjoy activities like paddleboarding and rock climbing, and going to the gym and throwing the football with my dad. And if I were invited to a sporting activity, I would join confidently. I now know how silly it was for me to limit myself, to put limitations on what I can and cannot do, who I can and cannot be. As cliche as it sounds, I truly am capable of anything. As I reflect on how I've grown, I can't help but to notice how my faith has grown. And I could have included this in the last point, but I wanted it to stand on its own. For the last 4 years, and long before that, God has been so patient and faithful to me. If any of you look at me now, or have ever looked at me and seen a young lady who is mature, confident, joyful, intelligent, and strong, please know that none of these things come from myself, but from my Redeemer, who has been my most patient shepherd. And I trust that going forward, he will continue to be. Speaking of going forward, I would like to discuss some of my goals for the future. Prepare. In no particular order this is. We have get my degree at Liberty University. Yay! Liberty! Woo! Write and publish my own book. Date Leonardo DiCaprio before I'm 25. Become an expert in Arthurian literature. Learn the rules like a pro so I can break them like an artist, as Pablo Picasso once said. Open an Etsy shop. Blow up on either YouTube or Instagram, or perhaps both. I'm open to that. Travel to Europe. And lastly, become fabulously wealthy, either by my own success or by marrying a rich husband, preferably both. Where would we be if we didn't have goals? I guess my coming of age story has ended. My regrets are few to none, and again, I want to thank you for impacting me and following along with my journey. A main character is nothing without her supporting leads and the extras. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and starting next year, if you're looking for me, you can find me at Liberty University. Until then, I guess I'll see you around. Bye.